team. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'5" QB out of Cal. It's Davis Webb.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. David Johnson here on the catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 21 carries, 97 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. And incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. That'll bring up second down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on it a little bit more.
Here's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
4th down, Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
I know. Coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, I have a feeling about let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt.
Flashed a little bit of his power running, but only able to get to the 10 with it. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wells. And this one's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 3rd down, Wells trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Throwing after the interception. Wells completes it to the rookie from North Carolina, Ryan Switzer. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A gain of 32 that time. A 1st down carry by Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 17 carries, 90 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Will tie his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching it remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL. Probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from it. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the drive.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. They'll give to Elliott. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They go play action here on first down. It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Looking to throw. Wells. And that'll be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, Wells. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And Brenza's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Davis Webb going to lead the offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown. After that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And now running right through it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Back to throw here. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? He not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
A nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this. Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. But now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick is indeed good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step, because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wells. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. The Saints in a hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. On 4th down, Wells. And he will find his man on the outside. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Throwing on 1st down. Wells. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw again. Wells. And he comes back with one complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. In position for the possible game winner, but they need to get up and spike it. From the gun on 3rd down. Wells. That one complete. Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far in second down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times. And in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Looking to throw. Wells. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to go down again. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play for the Saints on third down. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Second and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try again with Elliott. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They go to Johnson again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Looking to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Off play action. Wells. connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Back to throw. Wells. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard pass.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Wells. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cut.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Brinza now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he spots Henderson open left side. And a big hit. Knocked down sideways right there around the 35-yard line. First down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
Yeah, the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
To throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be knocked down sideways. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Let's go!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time.
A breakaway from Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 87 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And And now let's look at David Johnson. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? I think that's what went down. I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head is that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
Shoves him aside. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's brought down after a good game. 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Now back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
He'll drop to throw, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Hey, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. Right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now the offense heading back out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing left side, it's complete. It's a big play there. 48 yards.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The offense on third down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watch it now, Barney.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go. Green.
On 1st and 10, Wells. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
Yeah.